folks, what is going on? Justin Masson here with Nintendo Dads. We're going to react to the SteamWorld Telegraph event that is occurring. We're going to watch it here in a couple of moments. SteamWorld games, man, I love the SteamWorld games. They've had some fantastic ones. They've had Dig, obviously. They've had Heist, Hand of Galgamine, or Galgamur. I can never say that word right. But they have got a broadcast, an event, a SteamWorld Direct, if you would, where they're going to show us some of their games. So excited to see what is on there. Great. Here we are over at the SteamWorld page, actually. And of course, these are from the fantastic folks over at Thunderful Games. We love the work that they do. And they have got great, actually, imagery here in their banner about some of their characters that we've known and seen throughout their franchise so far. So we're excited to see that. But before we jump into the reaction, I went over to Twitter last night and said, hey, what do we think we're going to anticipate seeing? Dig 3, I think, I was obviously coming out here with a 50%. Heist 2. Heist was a fantastic game. Came out originally on the 3DS and was later ported to the Nintendo Switch as well. Dig 3, I think, is definite. I mean, I could be wrong here, but Dig 1 and Dig 2 did such a fantastic job. I think that makes a lot of sense as well. Heist, I liked. Quest, it was a card-based game. It was a little bit different from them, so I'd be interested in seeing if they end up going back to that well. And, of course, a brand new game. I think they have such a great job, the SteamWorld kind of franchise and brand, of taking their characters, their IP, their world they've built, and putting it into a different perspective from the games that they deliver. So I'll be very interested to see, indeed, what they do deliver. So with that being said, folks, let's jump right into the watch here. There we go. We got 18, 17 seconds. We're going to go full screen on this. There we go. All right. 10 seconds. Here we go. So let's see what the fantastic folks... Again, SteamWorld Dig 3, I think, logically makes sense. I'm hoping for Dig 3, Heist 2, and maybe something brand new from them. But here we go. Kind of a nice little, like, Marvel opening there reminds me of. Wow, like, this is... Okay. The Steam Deck.
Every time.
Well played. Does look like a Steam Deck, I think, right?
Excuse me. I couldn't help but notice it's a SteamWorld game you're playing there. Mm-hmm. Well, I've played all of the SteamWorld games. I actually helped make them, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Maybe it's on the Steam Deck. Maybe I'm wrong. Just a Switch Lite, maybe?
Do you want to know a secret about SteamWorld? Something that nobody knows anything about?
Sure.
Well, there's this story about this...
Great story, cowboy. Don't forget your hat.
Get your hat.
I'll be right back.
So, as I was saying... Oh, sorry. I just
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to
the
share the
Steam Deck for
secret
sure.
about SteamWorld. We're actually working on something new.
And that's the end of it. That'd be the entire presentation right there. That'd be funny. Okay, here... Oh. Thunderful Presents. Here we go. A new SteamWorld game.
Look, Pa, I see it! I see it! The mine shaft!
All right, folks. Time to get to
Dig
work.
3. Oh no, it's a builder. Is it? Yeah, it's a SteamWorld building game. Okay, interesting. See, this is the thing about the folks over at Thunderful and SteamWorld. Like, they take their idea, their look on SteamWorld, their kind of environment they've built, and they take a game genre and kind of look at it differently. This is interesting. Okay. Mining for resources, I assume, here. Very interesting. So it's a city builder. SteamWorld Build. Called it. Okay. SteamWorld Build. All right. Very cool.
Welcome to SteamWorld Telegraph special broadcast. You just saw the trailer for our next SteamWorld game, SteamWorld Build, which is coming to PC and all consoles.
All consoles.
later this
Perfect.
year.
Okay.
SteamWorld is Thunderful's original series, and it was created right here in Gothenburg. This Swedish city was, and still is, an industrial town, traditionally known for its huge port and also the many factories that were built here, once some of the British investors came over during the Industrial Revolution.
Very cool.
So I'm here in this beautifully preserved relic from that era, the Gothenburg Remfabrik Textiles Museum.
Very, very cool.
Back in the day, when this factory was fully functional, it was steam powered, as were all factories in Gothenburg from the 18 and 1900s. This huge industrial significance of Gothenburg in Swedish history was highly influential when we gave birth to SteamWorld, as we wanted to create a series that kept the DNA of the place it was originally created in.
That's very cool. I like a little bit of the history of it.
Before we dig further into SteamWorld Build, I wanted to quickly go over what SteamWorld is and share a couple of SteamWorld-related announcements too. SteamWorld has always been about making the types of games we at Thunderful wanted to make, with a gameplay that excites us, and it's an IP that acts as a wrapper for any genre and allows us to add our own unique twist.
That's a great way of putting it, yeah.
SteamWorld began with SteamWorld Tower Defense, and then came an action-digging platformer with the first SteamWorld Dig.
Such a good game.
Then we tackled turn-based tactics with SteamWorld Heist. Dig 2 was our attempt at a full-blown Metroidvania, and with SteamWorld Quest, we gave deck-building RPGs a SteamWorld spin.
Yeah, it was very cool. That was a very interesting
For every genre we decide to Steamify, we always strive to add unique elements and distill it down to its core essentials, with extremely tight gameplay and an accessible design. Bringing SteamWorld back and making it bigger and better than ever has been something we've been planning for years now. I've been working with Image and Form since the original game, SteamWorld Tower Defense, back in 2010. And SteamWorld Build is now the 6th mainline entry in the SteamWorld series.
Very cool.
As our roster of studios increases in size, we of course have a lot of people wanting to bring their own ideas to the SteamWorld universe for their next project. So, as the series expands into new and exciting directions, I will be working with all of our development studios to ensure that the tone, the lore, and the gameplay of all our SteamWorld games stays true to the series' roots.
Interesting. Okay.
Of course, Build is one of those directions. But we also have
So, I mean,
more
they're
SteamWorld
really looking
games
at their
in development
SteamWorld as
than
a
ever
large
before.
universe, right?
Including Build,
cool, which I
we're
think
now
is
working
great.
on 4 separate SteamWorld titles.
Holy cow.
Back in the day, when we were a small team, we had to make a SteamWorld game, have a break, then figure out what we wanted to do next, and so on and so on. So now, as Thunderful, we have multiple studios, and it means we can do a lot more SteamWorld things at once. I'm not going to go into details on the other 3 titles today, but rest assured, we cannot wait to show you more when the time is right. For SteamWorld fans
Interesting.
around the world, SteamWorld Telegraph will be the new one-stop shop to get all the latest information on the series.
So they're really starting
Starting
to
a
try
little later
and
this year,
pull in the
we will be
communication
introducing
strategy.
SteamWorld Telegraph as a smaller scale, community-focused show, which I will host.
Okay, so
We'll be
that's their
able to
version
do
of Nintendo
deep
Directs
dives
kind of
into
idea,
specific
or developer
SteamWorld news
specific
stories or
content.
announcements, discuss the lore of our world, play past and present SteamWorld games, and we'll interview developers and other guests.
Very cool.
Today's special broadcast has been made to kick off the return of SteamWorld. As you look forward to hearing more about the debut of SteamWorld Telegraph, sign up to the SteamWorld newsletter and follow us on social media to be the first to know. For anyone wanting to catch up on the SteamWorld series, we have a SteamWorld franchise sale available right now on Steam, where you can purchase SteamWorld Dig, SteamWorld Heist, SteamWorld Dig 2, and SteamWorld Quest at insane discounts.
That's great.
Which now brings me to SteamWorld Build. For anyone hoping to play SteamWorld Build before release, there's a free demo available today on Steam as part of the Steam Base Builder Fest. Now, let's talk more about SteamWorld Build and show you the game up and running. So we'll roll the trailer one more time and then meet you back here for some gameplay.
All right. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're really, what they're building here is really owning that franchise, that brand, having a one site, kind of like a Kevin Feige oversight direction over multiple games and multiple pieces of work or projects and fluctuation, really building out that that idea. He is right though. Whatever they do is they take their SteamWorld brand, their idea, and then just apply that to a genre, to SteamWorldify it, if you would, or Steamify it, and then add their own adjustments and corrections or changes based on the world and the content they've built. And I think that's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge city builder game person, but I'll play this for sure. And again, because I'm interested in understanding what their strategy and what their direction is with it and how it fits. Interested to see how this plays on something like the Switch, because he did say all platforms before, so very cool though. That, I mean, that is interesting. Like, yeah, Image and Form were the originals. Then they created a studio called Thunderful, and they have been developing, but they have also been publishing a lot of other games as well under that umbrella. So it sounds like their acquisition of other teams will allow for them to have multiple sub-projects going on at one time. That's pretty cool. Really kind of understanding what they have in flight and understanding how they work on it. That's great.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. I'm now joined by two of the developers of SteamWorld Build, who represent our internal studio, The Station, which is located in Karlshamn here in Sweden. And with us we have Sofie Wikström, who is the art director.
Hello.
And Adam Vassé, who is the producer.
Hi.
So guys, there's a lot of lore to SteamWorld that's already established. I mean, we have so many games and they follow along a timeline, if you like. Like this game leads to this game, and you learn something in this game that tells about that appears in that game and so on. How does SteamWorld Build fit into the lore and the timeline?
Yeah, so this is actually a story about a father and his daughter trying to escape the dying Earth. So in SteamWorld Dig 2, in the end of the game, we see a lot of rockets departing from the Earth when the Earth exploding. And
Spoiler alert for the end of SteamWorld Dig 2.
One of those rockets.
It's cool. So the SteamWorld franchise, it likes to take on new genres and mash them up. So that's nothing new. So could you tell us a little bit about how the idea of a city builder came about?
So actually, we always loved city builder games in our studio, and we were, of course, big fans of the SteamWorld series as well. So when we started to talk about the collaboration, a city building with the influences of the digging and the mining part of the dig games were something that we really wanted to do.
That's interesting. That's
Could you
cool.
mention like a few things that make SteamWorld Builds like truly unique?
Yeah, so initially we decided that we wanted to take two established game systems, so city building and basically resource managing and resource gathering, and create one cohesive experience. Think like
Yeah, I would say it's like the Anno series having a baby with Dungeon Keeper, and we should be in the right ballpark.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct. But the challenge of that, of course, becomes making a game that is cohesive and also brings both those elements into play in one good way.
Yeah, exactly. It's always been about the gameplay, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't mind mashing up genres. It's fun, you know. It's like baking a cake. You take some good stuff and put it together and see what you come up with. So that's one thing. But another thing is the accessibility of the games. Like you say, I mean, like you're building a city but you're also mining and gathering these resources. And I never feel that I'm leaving one to go into the other. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah.
That must have been difficult. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it was. Like when we thought about it, we knew we
Yes,
wanted
yes,
to
it
make
was.
a city builder, but going too far away from the original material in the SteamWorld games, it just felt wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to do the digging, and everyone loved the idea of the old Dungeon Keeper games. So we figured, could we combine the two in a good way? But then we had to figure out, how do these two layers connect? How does your actions in the mine feed into your actions in the city, and vice versa?
Right.
So we had to keep this constant flow. So that was the big thing to figure out. But of course, it's by unlocking things, finding things in the mine.
Yeah.
So, you know, you find, I don't know, you find scrap in the tunnels, and you're like, oh, nice. That means you can create spare parts.
Yeah.
That means that you can get engineers, and that means that you can, you know, go further in the mine. So
Yeah.
it all feeds on one another.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course you have to also think about optimizing your city and like how do I fulfill my inhabitants and how do I make the best of my city planning to make it all efficient.
SteamWorld Build is the first SteamWorld game coming out that is in 3D. I mean, Sophie, like as an art director, that poses a million questions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it does.
Because if you do a 2D
it does.
game, it'll always look the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
you
always
just
good.
Yeah, it will always look exactly like you intended,
Yeah.
right?
There was a lot of challenges with that. First off, we wanted to make sure that we kept true to the original material. So we looked a lot at the old games, and you can see it reflected in our game. Like, we chose to keep the blocks in the mine, for example, because that's a throwback to your games. It looks good in your games,
To
so
your
I
games.
changed it. But generally, for the city, we had to always consider scale of everything, because we zoom out and look at the city from a far distance a lot. So we had to think of every building as sort of its own little hero piece.
Oh, yeah, I bet you
as
there's
the main
a lot of
character.
work there.
Meaning that
And you-
when
like,
we
it's a busy
design
town,
the
like, there's things
buildings,
going
we
on,
had to think
right? Like,
about
there's-
silhouettes, colors, shapes,
Wow.
and humor.
Right.
Humor is important. So, for example, we have a restaurant called Le Gourmand, which is basically just a giant cloche that lifts up and
Yeah,
down,
that's
up and
great.
down, and it has like some a knife
I'm
and a fork that rotates.
very
So it's
interested
really
to
easy to
see
see
how
from a
this runs on
distance
something
what
like
it
the
is.
Switch.
It actually
looks
took
great.
me a while to realize that, wait a minute, I can actually zoom in like and look at this and
Yeah, the 3D
seamlessly,
modeling would
like
have been
suddenly,
massive.
I'm looking at, I mean, I'm a
they're all-
city
and
planner, I'm building my city.
they've got
and then you
stuff
go
going
in
on.
and you see the robots sort of walking along the streets, but also, like you said, like every building is its own character in the game. And it's just, it's magnificent. And also when you get in close, you hear these things.
Yeah.
Mm.
We're gonna, pull in references where we can, where it's funny. That's always gonna happen. We have one level that has a cinema, that has a movie playing. It's basically just robots looking at each other like intensely.
In the game?
Yeah, and then it says the good, the bad, and the rusty on a sign. So, those sort of things. We also have in one part of the mine, we have a swamp.
Yeah.
There is a sign half buried in the ground that says beware, and then there's a Robo-Shrek on the image.
Robo-Shrek,
Stuff like
nice.
that,
So
A lot of
there's
little
one
hidden
more
details,
thing
love that.
I feel makes it unique, or hopefully makes it unique, because like when I've played city builders, I've either played on PC, I'm using a keyboard and mouse, and it just is very natural. And then I've played also on my iPad, and I think, yeah, that works really
Yeah.
well too.
How you
But
doing console?
SteamWorld Build, we're going out boldly here saying that it's coming to PC and all consoles.
Yeah, so we decided to, hey, we want to make this game accessible for everyone on all the platforms. So how do we do that the smoothest way possible? So we decided to, hey, let's make sure that we have playable builds every week and that we design the UI and the interface so it would work equally well with a mouse and a keyboard or with a gamepad. And if it did not, then we wouldn't put it in. So that was one big thing, because we had this UI guy tied to the project, and so if he got
very cool.
instructions from Andreas, our game director, hey, I want to do this, and he could basically say, no, that won't work on the gamepad, sorry, and then we just had to rethink it.
Oh,
when
nice. So
we
they're
did our
really building it
game
based on the
test
constraints of the
sessions,
system.
we had
That's
PC
great, as
players
opposed to
and console players at the
adjusting,
same time,
downsizing
and our
it.
developers got to feedback on how
That's
it felt
fantastic.
on console and could, give good input. Like, this doesn't work, could we switch this button?
Very
etc.
cool. I'm
And
very
I think
curious
we
about
could
how this
absolutely
turns out on
guarantee
Switch.
that all the players, no matter
Typically,
what
also with
platform you're playing
SteamWorld, I
on,
know they're
will-
saying
will
coming out later this
receive
year.
the same
Typically, what I've seen with
experience,
SteamWorld games, like
as
when they come to announcement,
PC
they've got it
version.
usually pretty
So,
quick.
Yeah, we're really proud of that.
Like I wouldn't be shocked
Well,
if it's
guys,
the
we're
next
going to
6
wrap
months.
up here, but it's been, yeah, such a delight talking to you guys, and I'm so happy for the game. And so 2023, it's hitting the virtual shelves, right?
Yeah.
So thanks a lot.
Good
for coming,
level of
for
enthusiasm
coming
there.
Up
Yeah.
to Gothenburg.
Yeah.
From Karlshamn.
Yeah.
We're so
Thank you
happy.
for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, to the team who's been working on this game as well, I just want to say thanks a lot, guys, because I think you've pulled it off. It's really, really nice. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay.
Okay, so to reiterate what we've shown you today, SteamWorld Build is coming to PC and all consoles later in 2023. We have a free demo going live today on Steam.
Very cool.
All previous SteamWorld games are available with huge discounts in the SteamWorld franchise sale, which is also live today on Steam. Beyond SteamWorld Build, we have many more SteamWorld games coming, so look forward to hearing about those in the future. SteamWorld Telegraph will debut properly later this year at a smaller scale as our new community show that focuses on all things SteamWorld past, present, and future.
Cool.
In the meantime, follow us on social media and sign up to the SteamWorld newsletter to be the first to know about all SteamWorld news directly from us. And that's our show. Thanks for watching, and as always, we hope you have a thunderful day and look forward to checking back in with you very soon. Bye for now.
That's great. Okay, so folks, we'll wrap it up there. I thought it was it was great. Would have liked to see more games, but I mean, he mentions they have 3 or 4 in the pipeline developing. They're going to use this platform to like what they're doing here is they're actually owning the narrative and owning their communication strategy, which I think is fantastic. The other interesting part of it, they are definitely taking playbooks or they're taking, you know, pages from the Marvel Cinematic Universe playbook here, right? Which is we have multiple projects in development by multiple different studios. I am overseeing it so that there is a thread line. But like the fact that the SteamWorld opener now has a little bit of a Marvel-esque like opener to it is not by accident. I think this is great. I love the fact they're they're trying a new game genre in their world and mashing them together. They do such a fantastic job at that. This is how you communicate properly with your fans. This is how you get in front of it. It's how you own your communication, understand your brand, and create a community. And I think they're doing such a fantastic job with this. I'm interested in seeing what the SteamWorld Telegraph further looks like as they go down the line. But this is really great. Excited to play SteamWorld Build this year. Great sales, so you can get people involved in understanding what's going on there. I was kind of hoping they'd say in all platforms, but you know they're on Steam right now, so go for it as well. But folks, I'm excited to play SteamWorld Build when it comes out later this year. So thanks for watching. If you're new here, click like and subscribe. And by the way, check out the wonderful games from our fantastic friends over at Image and Forum, Thunderful Games, and the SteamWorld Telegraph. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.